Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my transformation story. Why I have decided to film this, I love watching everybody else's transformation stories. Not only does it make me feel closer to them as a person and sort of trust them more when I am watching their videos, it also, there are little aspects of other people's stories that have helped me through situations. So I'm just hoping that maybe any of the stages that I talk about of my journey today, potentially it might help some of you out there who may be going through the same thing. So that's why I have actually decided to film this video today. I do apologize if it is quite long, but I also did want to mention at the start that following this video, I will be doing a Q&A. It doesn't necessarily need to be about this video. If you want to ask me something that I haven't mentioned today, ask me anything about the video today, anything about any of my other videos or myself or the bikini body guide, anything. I want to help you guys out because that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. So leave me all your questions in the comments below or tweet me or on my Instagram. I will find them all and I will do my best to answer every single question in a video in a couple of days. With my transformation story, I'm just going to get started. Basically what I've done is broken it into stages. So I'm going to talk about each stage and I've literally just called them like stage one. So stage one, this stage goes from about the ages of 18 to 20. When I was 18 years old, I had a retail job and absolutely loved it, but I was going through a stage in my life where I was very unhealthy. And basically, the only other thing I did besides working, because I didn't actually go to uni straight out of high school, I took a year or so off. But basically, other than working in retail, all I was doing was partying literally all the time. I would go out Thursday to Sunday and just drink constantly. And basically my diet consisted of a meal a day, and that meal was McDonald's. I used to get a double cheeseburger with Big Mac sauce and a small fries. And basically that is all that I would eat, other than maybe a small dinner sometimes, because I was just so active and so busy on my feet all day in retail. And I just didn't think about eating, and I was so unhealthy because my diet basically consisted of McDonald's and alcohol. So that was stage one of my life, and stage two is sort of the same thing, but then there was one major difference that happened to me. I stopped working in retail. I started an office job. So from the ages of sort of 20 to 22, I was still, unfortunately, going out all the time. I was partying a lot. I was also working a lot because I was saving up to go overseas. But unfortunately, my diet was still terrible. So from the stages of where I was younger, and I will put pictures of the stage one here, I was quite thin, to when I started working in an office, I started gaining weight. Then I also, to save more money to go overseas, along with my office job, I started working in a bar, which made it even worse because I was drinking literally all the time. At this time of my life, I also decided for some unknown reason that I was going to become a vegetarian. I'm very easily influenced, so I'm sure that I just read something somewhere about someone being vegetarian and decided that I was going to do it. So for about 10 or so months, I was going along, eating a bunch of crap in my office job, drinking all night. I'd finish work, I'd go get Hungry Jack's, a vegetarian burger, which I'm sure is the most worst thing you can get from Hungry Jack's. So basically my diet consisted of alcohol, mee-goreng noodles, Hungry Jack's, veggie burgers, and pizzas, vegetarian pizzas at my bar. Up until this stage, I had never really thought about my weight. As I said, I was quite thin previously because even though I was eating McDonald's, I was eating a very small amount of food and just going out all the time. And it wasn't until I actually went overseas. So I traveled around Europe with my two best friends at the time for 2 months. We went everywhere. And you know, I wasn't aware of anything until I remember the day distinctly. I was in Venice staying, and we were checking into a hostel. We were doing a bus about around Europe, so our bus stopped off, we were checking into a hostel. There was a massive line where we were checking in, and there was one of those luggage scales. So for some reason, I stood on the luggage scale. I'm sure it's the same as a weight scale, but I stood on the luggage scale and it came up 68 kilograms. that shocked me because, you know, I'm not tall or anything like that, and 68 kilograms to me did seem quite heavy at the time. I was only 22 years old, and it really shocked me. And for the rest of my European trip, I really did start to notice how much weight I had put on. So I'm going to put a picture here. This was in Greece, and I was just really, really heavy in my stomach area, and I knew that that was to do with the alcohol, not just on my traveling trip, but from working in the bar and all the years prior to that. So anyway, coming back from my European trip, I actually moved back in with my parents, and around this time I started getting terrible, terrible stomach pains. So this is bringing me into stage 3. So this stage 3 consists of 2 parts. One, I was literally never able to go to the toilet. Like, I would go to the toilet once a week. I would have the worst stomach pains and the worst bloating. And the second part of stage 3 is that I had noticed, obviously, when I was overseas, that I had gained a lot of weight and how unhappy with my body I was. So stage 3 consists of me trying absolutely everything I could do to lose weight. When I moved back with my parents, with my parents, they were living in an apartment in the city, and in that apartment complex there was actually a gym. So the fact that I became really aware of how overweight I had become, I got really obsessive with trying to lose this weight. So this is when I was actually introduced first to counting calories. I'd heard that obviously, you know, the minimum amount of calories that you can have a day is 1,200. So I would literally obsessively try to stick to 1,200 calories a day, and sometimes even less. And I would go to the gym constantly, like all the time. I would wake up in the morning, go to the gym, and I would just go on the treadmill and just run and run and run. And even though I was exercising, and obviously you should feel good about yourself, to me, I didn't feel that good. I was just so obsessed with trying to lose weight. I would be running, and the exercises were more of a punishment than it was enjoyable and trying to be healthy and trying to lose weight. Like, I remember that I would say, no, you have to run. In my own head, I would be saying, no, you have to run for like 2 more minutes until you can have a sip of water. Like, there was always a challenge that I had to put upon myself, and it was always sort of a negative thing. It wasn't like a positive, let's get healthy. It was like, you need to lose this weight. You can't have this until you lose this weight. And then with my food, I was counting the calories and everything, but I also started like cutting everything in half. So with my food, I would always sort of have everything that I would normally have, but just half of it. Like, I used to always eat poached eggs on toast in the morning. It was my favorite thing. And I started just having 1 poached egg on toast. To be honest, I hate to say it, but it did work. I did lose a significant amount of weight. So from being 68 when I was traveling, I actually got down to 55 kilograms, sort of borderline 54, 55. And as I was losing weight, I remember everyone started saying to me, oh, you look fantastic, you look great. But then it sort of started getting to a point where people were like, gosh, you've lost a lot of weight. You know, when it's just a bit different, they're not sort of congratulating you on your weight loss. They're actually saying, yeah, you've lost weight, but they're concerned about it. So, but, you know, I didn't really care. Like, I was losing weight and it was really bad. So I'll put a picture of me. To be honest, I didn't have a lot of pictures that I could find from this time in my life. Yeah, so basically I just got really thin. I was getting really lethargic all the time and tired. I again had 2 jobs. I was still working my office job, but I was working in a cafe as well. And at this stage of my life, I was at uni, so my life was full on, and I was still sort of going out here and there as well. So yeah, a lot was going on. You know, I wasn't feeling 100% all the time, even though I was exercising and everything. I just wasn't getting enough calories. I was doing too much exercise, too much of the wrong exercise, and just feeling terrible all the time. Which actually brings me into stage 4. And so stage 4 is, just to mention, all throughout stage 3, I was obviously still having those really bad stomach pains, not being able to go to the toilet. I don't know where that came from. It potentially could have been all the alcohol, but in stage 4 is where it got really bad. So I actually met my boyfriend now, George, at this time. This was sort of about 2 years ago where stage 4 started. I kind of just forgot about having to be so thin and stuff like that. Like I'd already sort of reached my goals. I just became really happy. We started like going out to the soccer or the football and drinking beers and everything. But throughout this stage, my stomach pains and my bloating and my not being able to go to the toilet got to the worst they had ever been. I was just in excruciating pain. Basically every single time that I would eat, I would almost get to the point where I would feel sick. My stomach would bloat out to the point where I would look 9 months pregnant almost. So I started going to see doctors and I started going on the internet and like self-diagnosing myself. I basically gave myself IBS and every single thing to do with bloating and stuff like that and not being able to go to the toilet. And every single time I would see a doctor, they would say something different to me. Like I went to one doctor, he said cut out wheat. I went to another doctor, cut out meat. Another doctor, cut out dairy. So at this stage, doctors were telling me to do all sorts of stuff for my stomach issues. I went to hospital one time, and this is so embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you. Basically, I went to the doctor first. They thought my appendix had burst. My stomach bloating was that bad. And then so she told me go to the hospital straight away. Went to the hospital. He was like, no, you're just like so clogged up. It's ridiculous. Had to do an enema. Oh, it's so embarrassing. But yeah, had to do one of those. And then I went to another doctor and he was like, yeah, look, some people just struggle to go to the toilet. Take these laxatives every day. It was just an absolute nightmare, like constantly going to the doctor, constantly trying new things. I tried teas, I tried all these wellness, different types of diets, gluten-free, like everything. Basically everything you can possibly do, I tried, and it was just such a bad time for me. That was that stage. I can't even remember what stage we're up to now. So that was stage 4. So basically this just continued on, and I sort of gained some weight back and everything. Obviously, when you're not maintaining that 1,200 calories and excessive cardio, you're going to gain the weight back quickly. So I was really unhappy because I'd gained the weight back and I was just constantly bloated all the time. And, you know, I'm going to share a photo of like when this was. And that will bring me to stage 6, which is when I started the Bikini Body Guide. At around the same time as starting the Bikini Body Guide, I went to another doctor because I just continually went to doctors and doctors and doctors. And I went to another doctor and he was like, this is ridiculous. Go see a stomach specialist. So he referred me to a stomach specialist and I got all of the appropriate tests. Yes, a colonoscopy and an endoscopy. Very gross, but I'm going to tell you because if you're going through the same thing, I suggest you go see a specialist. Don't self-diagnose yourself on the internet and don't go see doctors and try all the stuff if they sound ridiculous. Go see someone who is specifically qualified in the field of what is your issue. So I went and saw a stomach specialist, had all those tests, and basically the whole entire time I thought I had allergies, everything. I had an acidity issue in my stomach. So basically my stomach was creating too much acid, which was fighting against all of the food, making it hard for me to go to the toilet. I went on a course of medication and the issue was completely fixed as soon as the course was gone. So that was just my moral there. Just please, if you have an issue, go see the appropriate person to get it fixed, because there's no point wasting time being unhappy for years and years and years and not knowing the proper issue. Really, like when you can just get it fixed so quickly. I wish I had gone and seen a specialist 2-3 years ago. So basically, as I said, in this stage, I started the Bikini Body Guide. So leading up after my sort of excessive, unhealthy exercise and nutrition regime to bloating and putting on some weight, I was like, no, I need to get back into fitness. So I started the Kayla Itsines Bikini Body Guide, and basically I loved it. It really, really got me back into loving fitness, loving being healthy, eating nutritious food. And so, yeah, I had stopped counting calories when I'd obviously moved in with George. And throughout the Bikini Body Guide, I was just sort of eating really healthy, trying to be as nutritious as possible, and I just really got back into exercise. And basically, when I finished the Bikini Body Guide, I was really, really proud of my progress and where I'd come. And it was the first time that I felt happy with it. Like, even though I was thin before, and this I will show you my so this was me, like the bloating before and what I look like after the Bikini Body Guide. And yeah, I was just really, really, really happy with my body, and happy with the progress that I had made. And it was just a really positive, as opposed to losing weight in a negative way. I was so proud of myself. So after the Bikini Body Guide had finished, I just continued going to the gym and being really, really healthy. And then I found YouTubers online who also did If It Fits Your Macros. And I hadn't really counted calories or anything after I had obviously that bad experience with it. But I downloaded MyFitnessPal again and I gave this If It Fits Your Macros a try. And I was doing that for a while and it was working. I was maintaining the weight loss that I had done, well, that I had lost from the Bikini Body Guide. And I was working out, I was creating my own workout plans, and I was really, really loving it. But then I did go to London at the start of this year, and I sort of put on some more weight. And when I came back, I sort of couldn't be bothered counting my macros. I honestly had put on a little bit of weight, and I think that was just from being a little bit too free, but I don't really mind because I was actually really happy and I was still working out a lot. So I guess the extra food had helped me because I was putting on muscle at the gym. So basically where I'm at now is I have just recently decided to do a If It Fits Your Macros cut. So I have started counting my macros again because the little bit of extra weight that I have put on I want to lose, so the muscle that I have gained becomes more visible. Basically the points that I just want you guys to take away from this video is, if you have any kind of issue with your body, like medically, you 100% need to sort it out. Don't just put up with it for years and years and years, because it will get worse. And there is no point doing fitness and trying to lose weight if you're doing it in a negative way. You 100% need to love your body and want to make it healthy, want to make it fit, improve your cardiovascular health and improve your brain health. You want it all to be a positive experience for you, because if it's not, then you're going to reach your goals and you're not going to be happy anyway. So I really hope this transformation story helped any of you guys out there who are dealing with any of the issues. If you're drinking all the time, all my advice would be to you is eat a healthy diet alongside that. Like, there's nothing wrong with experiencing your younger years and going out and partying. I do not condone underage drinking, of course, but definitely live your life and experience, because I don't regret a day of it. The only thing that I would do now in hindsight is have a healthier diet, and working in an office, I would be more active. So thanks for watching, guys. As I said at the start, I will be doing a Q&A. It's not just related to this video, to any questions you want to ask me. I'm really sorry if this video is really long. Any of you who stayed to the end, thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see my cutting vlog or any of the other videos I make, and give this video a thumbs up. I will see you next time, so thanks, guys.